Hello, hello, hello. I am here. Harley, stay. This is Harley. I'm talking to the camera. She thinks someone's here. She might start barking. If she does, I apologize. So, as always, if you have any questions or confusion or you want clarity on something specific, always let me know in the comments or find a way to message me and DM me so that I can address your comments and questions. Lie down. Lie down. Have a heating pad too because it's cold. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. So what I wanted to talk about today, probably like the biggest one, is Earth School. When it comes to playing this spiritual video game, this Earth School, even if you're just doing it to heal emotionally and not necessarily spiritually ascend, this chart is fantastic for you to start on. I do journaling regularly, I do meditation regularly, I do tarot readings and oracle cards when I'm journaling, just to kind of really tap into certain areas, certain emotions that I want to learn more about or acknowledge better. But basically, if you want to start doing this kind of spiritual school stuff, what I would suggest is start journaling on this chart where you are right now and where you have to go, and start paying attention. Every single day, review your emotions. And whether you're doing it to ascend or just to have a healthier emotional regulation and mental health, this is a great place for you to start. So consider each emotion like a level. There's also, I'm personally doing it the ascension, the healing and the ascension. It goes hand in hand. So you don't have to freak yourself out and say, I don't want to ascend, I'm barely hanging on, I'm still trying to figure out my emotions. Don't worry about ascending. I personally am still healing, figuring out my emotions, but because I've been getting more and more tapped into spirituality, I am seeing myself spiritually ascend because I'm following the chart. And it was like the beginning of my spiritual journey about a year and so ago. I was in fear, like bottom level fear, coward, didn't want to get out of the house, just wanted to stay put and safe. And now I'm like finding myself getting up to around the joy part. Even enlightenment, I'm not fully there because I still have a lot of I still have some shadow work to do, but I understand what enlightenment is. So I'm kind of like tip-topping on the scale of enlightenment, but it's kind of met with mentality of lack still and not believing in myself. What I'm doing to overcome that so I reach better enlightenment or reach enlightenment sooner or faster, whatever, I am working through building my authentic self-expression. That's kind of like the one thing that I'm still really slacking on. And because I don't have confidence in myself perfectly in that sense yet, I do allow certain shadows to kind of come in and start corrupting my thoughts. Basically, it's kind of like, are you sure this is gonna work? What makes you think it's gonna work for you if it didn't work for other people? That usual kind of like negative self-talk comes back out, right? So that's the importance of journaling when you're doing these levels. And every time you get stuck, you want to start journaling, you want to figure out, why do I feel like this? What thoughts are entering? You literally need to start talking to your thoughts and your emotions. Again, whether you're ascending or just healing or just trying to figure out what the hell's going on, this is a great place for you to start. Eventually, through doing this for weeks, months, however long, you are going to start pinpointing areas that you need to work on, maybe stuff that you've never quite recognized before. And you will be able to also give yourself some grace and time. You will also be able to figure out what side of healing and spirituality you're on. Um, Earth is a planet where souls go to ascend. It's the only planet, I think, as far as we know. I'm still learning, so I'm always open to correcting myself, and I'm always open to having a respectful conversation. So feel free to add on to any information. But Earth is a planet of duality. It is where shadow and light part of your emotions exist in balance and harmony with one another. What I mean by this is that on this plane, on this earth, quite literally, the angel and the devil are within you, are both you. What I mean by this is the shadow side of our emotions are like the bad parts of our emotions. It's like the anger, the lack mentality, the ego, the depression, the anxiety, all of that stuff. And the light part of our emotions are the opposite of that. So it's anything from joy and happiness, unconditional love, and enlightenment. And I'm going to show the chart right here. This chart I refer to as the pit, and I refer to it as kind of like the pit in which those are the steps we have to climb in order to ascend spiritually. Whether you're ascending in this life or not doesn't really matter, because whatever you do in this life, even if you don't see the benefits, it will come back around in your next life for you to pick up where you left off. So it's karma, basically. And what happens in Earth School? We forget. So when we come down to Earth, our souls, our subconscious is not available to us, and we have to go through certain steps to claim back our subconscious and our power and remember who we are. We are all great beings. We're all some sort of star seeds. We're all some sort of more than just human. The point of Earth School is to kind of go from that fear level all the way up to enlightenment. What happens when we are here though and we forget everything, we tend to get stuck around that lower part of the emotional pit, and we do end up tending to have some sort of lack mentality or victimization, because we don't realize that we just have to go through the levels. Each emotion is like its own level. I did talk about this, specifically about this pit and purging your emotions and stuff like that in another video. I'll link it. But basically, once you're actually realizing and deciding to do this and to do that spiritual ascension, it comes with a lot of tests. Now, before we even get there, what's been happening in the past, Earth has kind of gone through her dark night of the soul. Astrologically speaking, we have all been heavily influenced by our shadow emotions, not so much the light aspect of our emotions. So we've done all the shadow work. In this lifetime, kind of like in this space and time right now, a lot of our karmic debts are balancing themselves out. So from the past few lifetimes, anything that we've done, whether good or bad, is now coming back to us to karmically balance itself out. So if you feel like things are just not happening for you, that things are working out for everybody else, but you're not really getting anything in return, I would really start looking at your emotions and seeing where on this level of pit you are, and just kind of seeing maybe the reason nothing's coming in is because you've stayed in lack mentality and fear for a decade, and you have to start elevating yourself. Basically, the way that we are living right now, it is very difficult for us to continue with this kind of Earth School ascension. So sometimes if you feel like none of this applies to you, it could quite literally be that you are not here for that mission at this time, and that you are just here to reverse any sort of karmic consequences that you may have, or just to kind of accept back any karma that has been saved up for you, whether it's good or bad. I'm going to finish up there. But if you want to have fun with this healing and this video game concept, just start looking at this chart. Save it in your phone somewhere. Save it where you can access it every time that you journal, especially about mental health and emotional health. And start at fear. What things are you scared of? Go to the next emotion. Write out a journal prompt for that and each emotion. And you can do this every day, or you can just look at it on a daily basis and say, I'm kind of feeling like this today. And it's a really great way to keep yourself updated. The more you journal about it, the more that you'll realize what is not working in your lifestyle. And like I said, sometimes it might feel like, well, how am I supposed to fix that? You will get clues. Keep going with the healing, keep going with finding harmony and balance in your life, and the answers will just kind of come to you. Anyways, so that's it. I won't talk anymore. And thank you guys for being here. I hope you have a great journey through your healing or spiritual, whatever it is. Let me know down below, and I will talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye.